to go?
Let's start with cocoa.
Cocoa.
Cocoa is dear to your heart.
Yes.
In fact, the last time you were here, you would give us a narration of things that were happening. Yeah. Are your people listening tonight as well?
Yes.
Are your cocoa people to listen?
They have to. They have no option. You see, Jerome Sam is doing his best. That's what you're talking about, something about politicians. Mm-hmm. The fact that they have not called you to come in to work, you understand, or giving you a position, does not mean you should stop what you know how to do best. Mm-hmm. I mean, mine is to research, find out, and come and put out the truth. If I have not caught the president's eyes yet, I can't stop. Mm-hmm. I still must do what I'm doing perfectly well. So sometimes when I leave your studio, the calls I get is like I've been giving 500 million Ghana cedis on my phone. Because somebody will waste his time, excuse me, stay up and listen to what you are saying and then pick up something from it. So look, this cocoa wars, it didn't start today. The MPP people, I told you that they wanted to benefit from the cocoa farmers' action. So cocoa yesterday, to take you back into history, in 1954, there was a Cocoa Amendments Bill by K. Bedema. They had increased the world market price of cocoa by £100. So Kwame Nkrumah decided to take 71% of the money and keep it in the Bank of England. That one too created a problem in the Gold Coast here. Those people who say they are cocoa politicians at the time were only landowners. They had given their lands out in an Ebusa or a Bunu system to people to go into cocoa farming. They themselves were not the farmers.
Okay.
So upon taking the money, what was Kwame Nkrumah going to do? Those laborers on the farm, they came from somewhere. They had to be educated. Other than that, their generations will keep coming to be used as laborers in those lands. They had to find work for them so that they'll find alternative livelihoods and not depend on what their fathers were doing. So in taking the tax, he had a plan for the money. The gang themselves went around the cocoa farmers and created even a political party, the National Liberation Movement. What happened?
NLM.
The NLM. They came for elections. Kwame Nkrumah beat them bitterly. Of the 38 seats, they got one. Only one. Only one. And don't stop doing cocoa politics from 1954. Anytime there's an issue about cocoa, they raise the cocoa question.
So the farmers didn't even vote for them?
Not at all. They lost, even JB Dankwa lost to Aaron Asantio Foriata in Chebi, where there was cocoa. He lost JB Dankwa. He lost Poto. They beat all of them. Ekufado's father. They beat him in a Kwapire Kropon. All of them, the big six who lined up. Ashua Mehiashi Poto. They lost, all of them 0, even where they voted. What are you going to tell me? So they that's what they do. And where they come from the region of the cocoa farmers. So they play cocoa politics and play on the minds of the cocoa farmers. Kwame Nkrumah used that money he accrued to build secondary schools so that grandchildren and children of these cocoa farmers who are on the farm, the real laborers, the real people who are growing the cocoa, will also have the benefits of getting an education, so that trail of generation going into that labor force
will be broken. And exactly he did so. He built hospitals. He built the nation with cocoa farmers' money. I've always been saying it, 191 million pounds with 9 million interest, accruing to 200 million pounds. We used 70 million pounds cash down. The Akosombo Dam project was to cost us 140 million pounds. And we're to pay counterpart funding of 50%. Kwame Nkrumah took that money, part of it, and paid for the Akosombo Dam project. I'm surprised there is fire at the Akosombo fire station. 3 weeks ago, I got a unanimous call that I should go to the minister and tell him to change the managers at the Akosombo station. We did our best. They said he had traveled to the US. So what do I do? Me, what do I do? Much as I tried, I went there. I went to the ministry. His aide is there. You can ask him. McIntosh is there. I went there. But the message I was carrying, it was heavy. So you cannot just leave it for any just like that. So me, when I heard that the Akosombo station had burnt, I said, this is a unanimous caller. You can't throw the call back. But I knew the minister.
Anonymous.
Yes, unanimous. Yeah, caller. So, it pains me. We have invested in this country out of the effort of the cocoa farmer. I'm saying 43 brand new secondary schools. Every time I say Kandapa and Konko School, Achensua Senior High was ready in 1961, but they didn't have students. They had to wait until 1962. The school was waiting for them, brand new, built from cocoa farmers' money. Kwame Nkrumah, Tema Harbour, was it existent? No. Kwame Nkrumah put in money
invested money to build the thermal harbor. What was the intention? To make Ghana the trade hub. Look at what he did. The PSC shipyard were to build ships. Like today, Singapore is enjoying all from the cocoa farmers' money. He said in 1961 alone, 60 new factories were opened. A coconut oil factory, a tire and bicycle assembly plant, a milk processing family, a flour mill, yes, an oil refinery, amongst others. It was the investments that he had made from the deductions he made from the cocoa sector that invested to build the country. Years on, J.A. Kufuor said he should have left some of the money in the coffers so that he will come and chop it, nyafu, nyafu. Look, they don't have anything doing for the cocoa farmer. You can go into J.A. Buzia's government. He was one of the worst people who managed the cocoa sector. What even overthrew him was the devaluation in December of 1971 of the currency, because he wanted to put more money into the hands of the cocoa farmer at the time. Because if you devalue the currency, it means that, you are going to get more money into the hands of the cocoa farmer. He did that. It spiraled rural inflation. December, that's that year, December. Inflation went up by 171%. He was overthrown 13 days in January 1972. That decision he took to devalue the currency in order to put more money into the hands of the cocoa farmers spiraled rural inflation. They don't have an idea of the cocoa sector. Most of them, they don't have cocoa farms. I want to dare J.A. Kufuor. He should show me where his cocoa farm is. I want to dare him. When his building was renovated in Accra, we were talking, some cocoa farmer came from somewhere to say that he was the one, but he didn't say that the farm was for Kufuor. I'm a lake cocoa, Henoko, I'm telling you. And they try to, pray, P-R-E, yes, why? On the farmer's mind. Farmers say they don't have a mind of their own. Look, to go into cocoa farming, it's like to study for your PhD. I'm telling you, first, before you nurse it and transplant it, and then even on the farm, you need to guide it with other trees like plantain, cocoyam, to shade the baby cocoa that is growing from withering, from the sun. Then when it picks up you need tall trees to protect it from the sun. So you grow alongside trees like kapok and other things within the same farm. So if even 1 acre, so when the farmers go and they spend their time and do all these things, and you these MPP people, this UP tradition, every time you lie that you love the cocoa farmer, it's not true. I'll say everything now. When Nanado was in power, we pay our cocoa farmers in cash and in kind. We pay them in cash and in kind. Why do we do so? We don't want the kind of inputs they need in the rural areas for their farm. It's not there. So if you give them money to go and buy those things, like I told you, they'll have plenty money in the rural area chasing goods which are not there. It spirals rural inflation. So government decides to buy those things and hand it over in kind to the farmers in addition to their pay package. NDC has done it even under former President Rawlings. You can check from the 80s when they revived the Cocobod in 1984, what they have been doing for farmers. They pay in cash and kind. Cash flow. Anytime cash flow at the time they were working, all their outlets, they gave free spraying machines, they gave cocoa seedlings free, they gave insecticide, weedicides to the farmers in addition to their pay packet in order to go and make their farms better. Under MPP 8 years, ask me, donkeys were packing the fertilizer across Chiana to Burkina Faso. Donkeys. Yes. Our weedicides were being sold on the market. In knapsack sprayers that were supposed to be given free, they were being sold for 320 Ghana under Nana Akufo-Addo. What did they do for the cocoa farmer? Do they love the cocoa farmer than any other person? I'm asking.
Now they are crying wolf that, you've reduced the prices. Meanwhile, today, for example, today in the papers, some people had smuggled cocoa from Ivory Coast to Ghana. Have you heard about that?
Yes, I've sent 100 bags. And they must not be spared. You see, they must be sent to prison in haste.
Why?
Yes, because we want to curb smuggling. We want to curb smuggling.
It means the price here in Ghana is better than that.
Oh, yes. When they started this season, Abidjan's cocoa price looked better than us. So we wanted to prevent smuggling. We had to announce the price in October. We did that in August. We had to do it in October in order to match up our price with what was happening next door, Cote d'Ivoire. Then when the prices came tumbling down, we were able to cushion and stop at 2,587. They stopped at 1,220. I was trying to compare the two systems. They have a laissez-faire approach to purchasing of their cocoa. The government does not take too much keen interest in what cocoa farmers do in Abidjan. And the cocoa farmers, they have cooperatives in Abidjan, unlike Ghana where they are smallholder farmers. There are cooperatives and other things that grow the cocoa. And the quality of their cocoa does not match ours. Ours has premium. For every ton, we now get 600 pounds for our cocoa. They get zero. And their purchasing system, once the price is announced, a local purchaser will go to the rural area. We call them traitons. Even listen to the name, traitor. Traiton is a French word. They will come and tell you that, yes, they have been given a license to purchase your cocoa. And when they come to your village and you don't sell to them, nobody will come there because they work in groups. They are connected. So if you don't sell your cocoa to him, he will not allow you to sell it to Bernard. They have a way. They exploit the farmers in Abidjan, unlike ours. Ours, we have the produce buying company, which is a government arm, which is interested in the marketing and purchasing of the cocoa beans and making sure grading and sealing and quality is always maintained. So once government is in there and they are private people, there's competition. In Abidjan, it's free flow, no government intervention. So you see where the price is. And the price in Abidjan is reflecting the international price on the world market. We left $7,200 to now $4,100. That's the price on the international market. So if you check, they don't even pay 70%. They pay around 55%. If you check their rights by their 1,220 for the same 64 kilos of cocoa. We are paying 130% of the FOB price now, currently.
What's the FOB price?
The FOB price, I told you the other time. On ake cocoa any ake kotoku miata na akpe na.
They'll come and check.
They check everything. When they finish the checking, the cocoa they carry, that cocoa bag that they carry onto the ship, the price of that cocoa bag onto that ship is the FOB price.
Okay.
Free on board. Because the people who purchase, the forward sales people will pay for the shipping and other things. So they give us a price here that we depend on. And it has been determined by the International Cocoa Organization many years on. We don't have an input. We don't have a say. Despite the fact that we in Abidjan are the two biggest producers, we don't have control over those international prices. It's those who make use of our cocoa products who go to sit to decide on the prices. And the NPP knows. They know. Why is it that when the price was $13,000, they didn't take advantage for the farmers to benefit in their time? And they were paying that $3,100, which was almost 22%. And today, when the prices are falling, because we had a syndicated loan for 30-something years, J.J. Rawlings brought it so that the noise in the cocoa sector, when it comes to financing of the purchasing of the crop, will stop. In 1991, they put up a syndicated loan system in order to purchase the crop. The disadvantage was that it gave us a guaranteed minimum price throughout the season, so that when the price went up, we couldn't take advantage of it. But at least there was stability in the pricing system throughout the cocoa period, and there will be no disturbance. Years on, 30-something years on, these MPP people go and brag and make too known that they will produce 800,000. They couldn't. They only did about half, 400 and something thousand. So when the price went up to 13,000, we had to use tonnage of cocoa over 300,000 to go and pay at 2,600. And we're losing, look at the difference between 13,000 and 2,600 times 300,000 tons. Look at the amount of money that we lost. Ask me, the money they took on the international market at the time they didn't supply the cocoa, what did they use that money for? What investment did they do? They were not paying the farmers in kind. Fertilizer was not going. Insecticide was not going. Even the cocoa extension division, they had a contract with the World Bank. They took $350 million from the World Bank. They took an additional $700 million. 156,000 hectares of our cocoa had been caught up with the capsid disease. So the government decided to rehabilitate, get the contract out. The money has been chopped. Only 40,000 hectares has been attended to. 116,000 hectares still lying down. It is recently under Adiabi that a new loan has been contracted and is being used to rehabilitate those farms. Why would you take such huge sums of money and you won't account for it? You understand? So their idea, like I told you, they formed the Cocoa Union with the Abidjan people. The idea was to copy the laissez-faire approach of the Abidjan cocoa purchasing system so that government will run away because they destroyed the cocoa syndicated loan. At the same time, we put in what we call the Cocoa Stabilization Fund. What was the idea? The idea was that fluctuation and volatility of the cocoa price on the international market would not allow us to pinpoint throughout the season an effective price that will average the whole season. So what happens when it goes up? The money that we get, we put it aside into a stabilization fund, so that when it falls below a certain minimum, we bring in that money, pump it up into the stabilization fund to support the farmers, so that they have a budget, they have a plan for what they do, so that they don't miss out on their plans for the year. What happened to the stabilization fund? Your man chopped it. Beraralote's friend, Ken the G, you forgot. He chopped it. You see, you all get a shit. He's his good friend. He has run away. Ken the Furata will never come to Ghana again.
Why did you go?
Where is the Bishop? He'll drink water because it's Ken. He'll drink water. Come on, he has run. Ken has run. Ken destroyed the cocoa sector. I'm telling you. Nobody is talking. Baumia wants to be what? President. My friend, your head of economic management team at the time, your finance minister is on the run. Tell us why you want to be president when your finance minister, who managed Ghana's, even the cocoa sector alone, what he did by destroying the stabilization fund, an investment banker, somebody who says he worked with Solomon Brothers, he knows investments. He came to Ghana, saw our stabilization fund, put his money in it and chopped it left, right, center. Now he's on the run. He's on the run. And Baumia is not talking. As on Nanado, he has kept quiet. Do you know why? Because his sins of 27 January 1978, when he was made General Secretary of the People's Movement for Freedom and Justice, the questions he asked Achampong about the cocoa sector, I will begin to ask him very soon. I'm on a cocoa tour. I will use your program, part of your program. I want to form a cocoa firewall project, advocacy project, to protect cocoa farmers from the propaganda of the MPP people. They have nothing good to offer any cocoa farmer here in Ghana. Time tells us they have been in power before. All the things they did, I told you, much ado about nothing. Check under Joseph Boanedu. Go and check under Joseph Boanedu what any intelligent thing he said he did, and in the cocoa sector. Is it his buyer-led system that he introduced after we lost the syndicated loan, that we couldn't take advantage of high prices when the prices were top, and we should have taken advantage so that our farmers would get more income? We didn't do it. Now it has fallen, and it has to reflect, and we have reflected it. You are running around telling the people what? The other time I told you, soya, soya, soya. You see the MPP people, all they know is Kinke party. You understand? So when they get chance like this, they are lazy. They are lazy. Frankano Dompre, what has he done for the people of Insawam? There are cocoa farms in Insawam. Ask him, when the farmers don't get fertilizer, what does he do? Does he even work to Cocobod? He himself is a supplier to Cocobod, allegedly. He that Frankano Dompre. He can what's his name? Can Japan. And that boy, that small boy, micro minority leader, that small boy, what's his name? In Winneba. What? All of them were suppliers to Cocobod. Go and check what they did to Cocobod supplies. I'm not afraid to say it. Me, they should come and answer for the bad things they did to the cocoa sector. They brought the cocoa sector on its belly. Go and check. A can of worms, $32.9 billion. When it is opened, half of it is dead on arrival. Even payments that have been made, people have gone to renew documents and have come back and are trying to come and take the money again. And when somebody opens his eyes because he has a technical ability and he has seen that this one is not payable, you turn your eyes on the person's person and you want to attack him for the good work he's doing for Ghana. We will not allow them. So, like I said, I will use part of your show. I beg you. In the coming weeks, the farmers are on break from May to August. Just give me 4 times to come here. We will rectify the propaganda. First, they say JM has reduced the cocoa price in order to go and buy a jet. How can that be possible? Does JM control the international cocoa price? No. The International Cocoa Organization controls the price. And when the prices come here, we fix it at 70%. We are even sending the cocoa bill to Parliament to make it law so that Nanado's team that came and gave them 22% will not have that advantage again. Today, as I speak to you, John Mahama's payment to the farmers is 130% of the FOB price. It's more than 70%, more than 100%. Our cocoa has become uncompetitive on the international market because the price is too high. If you don't do that too, the farmers are angry here. You see the gap between Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire? You have 2,587 and one paying 1,200. It's a huge difference. That's why you have lazy people in the Bronga-Hafu region. They think that they can just cross the border and bring in the cocoa and make some $100,000 and sit down weekend and blow cash and say they have been caught. We shouldn't spend them at all. There's a chief in Achimotreso. some years ago, he stole cocoa from the Western region. And he came to a village in Asabi there, wanting to change the cocoa bags. I'm saying it. He's listening to me. If he triggers, I will let him be arrested. Because criminal cases and brother. I hate people who want to exploit any cocoa farmer anywhere. I swear. I don't know why. I stayed in a village before. Somebody who I was just talking to in 10 minutes. He was on his farm. Then dead silent. Charlie, I called out, I didn't hear anything. When I went close, snake, if you see the size of the snake, it was just moving away. It has hit him at his back 3 times. He was just going to remove his booby trap. He had I can't say be a betoni ninkwemu no okoyi say no wo ebe ho or walk kakra be me see o bomb and down for nechi 3 times. He died on the spot. We went to the farm with an aboboya. By the time we got to the town, he was dead. My own friend, my close friend, we didn't get snake serum anywhere close. That guy could produce about 50 to 100 bags of cocoa in a year. He died. His farm too died. Who to look after it? So we have a lot to do for our cocoa farmers. Look at the towns and villages in which our cocoa grows. Most of them live in farm states. Have you visited there before? It's dangerous living. They live with snakes. Some of the snakes, when you see them, you run to California and go and bring a photographer. I'm telling you. Charlie, one day I had the opportunity to witness the killing of some large cobra. Hey, Charlie, by the time they finished, it took about 8 hours. Dodgings and skills. Is this one? You see that it has been there for years in the cocoa farm. They trapped it and killed it. I said, no, this one, I hide people. We put it on the main road. That it was the Odan Kumasi road. Any car that will reach there, all you hear is toe, pow, toe. That's a huge cobra. It has killed so many people in that corner. There's your wakan or do few snake serum all around the country. Cocoa farmers lack snake serum. And their work, snakes go onto their farms. Because when it flowers, when the cocoa flowers, in the night, it shines. The light shines so high that it attracts insects to the farm. The insects come and do pollination. But in the process, there's a food chain. So there are white rats that come chasing those insects.
Okay.
And the snakes too will come chase the white rats. So long as the white rats see the snake, they will stay up there and never come down. The snake too will never move. They will break. You will enter your farm. You see that the second owners are there. If you are not careful, you step on it, it will bite you. There's no snake serum anywhere. The MPP people, they were there in power 8 years. They didn't restore that. They didn't even add one cocoa hospital to the existing ones. I'm telling you, they ran the cocoa hospitals down. Go and check. When their children and other things are sick, allegedly, they'll give them, go to cocoa clinic. Go to cocoa clinic. That's what they do. That's what they do. I'm saying they ran this. All facets of the Cocobod, all the 74 districts, they didn't have vehicles for the 8 years. Joseph Boanedu didn't even buy one vehicle for any director at any district of the 74 districts. Meanwhile, he bought 2 personal V8s. When he was going, he took it away. The one he came to meet, to when he was going, he didn't write for it. He took it home. When Randy Abe wrote to NIB that the cars were missing, the following day, his driver, who is now a policeman, brought the car. Look at Fifi Boafu, office manager at the CEO office. Go to his house and go and see. Go and see the cars you see. Where did he get the money from? Alistair and those people won't keep quiet. They rather come and disturb everybody and be talking to cocoa farmers. When they get to the farms, throw stones at them. Yes, you must react to what they did to you. Why? I'm a junior. I'm a Cocobod. Look at what they did with the sacks. Sacks you don't need. Then you go and bring in LC. Look at the amount of money, $48 million. $48 million. That cocoa extension rehabilitation that they didn't finish. Every year we have to pay $61 million. Where's the money? Where's the money? They have collapsed the purchasing system. It is now that government is bringing reforms. That's why I'm saying that I will form the Cocoa Firewall Advocacy Project, and I will need you, Bibi. You're a senior man in this game. We must protect Randy Abe. I know you and Randy there. I'm not the one to push the friendship.
So what's this advocacy about? What are you?
About the firewall is to protect government's idea of the reset that it brings to the cocoa sector. It says the cocoa sector reforms for financial viability and long-term sustainability. We need to put in a loan system that will, over the time, be able to purchase our cocoa all year round without disturbance of the prices within the year, like we did for the syndicated loan system. So now government is saying that they are doing domestic bonds. They'll be able to raise 11 to 12 million. From that money, they'll use it to purchase the cocoa, sell it, and then bring the money back, pay the interest, so that it will go like a revolving fund. So that one will have about 11 million Ghana cedis. That's about $1.2 billion around the cocoa, just to purchase year in, year out. And those cocoa bonds must come from me and you, our corporate organizations, individuals. People must, it's like an investment. It's like a trade instrument that you invest in, and then you get your interest. And because in the cocoa sector, this is not like the one Joseph Boanedu did, that he collected 2.2 billion from Ghanaians when he sold the cocoa out. He refused to bring the money. He used this money to buy 355,000 tons of cocoa. When he went to sell the cocoa, he refused to bring the money, the cocoa bonds money, back to those who had invested in it. Up until now, it has turned into legacy debt for Cocobod. In Meshikayo,
you have all the resources to question him and ask him what is being done.
Oh, but why? Audit has been opened on them to find out. You see, when it comes to prosecution in democracy and other things, I hold a different view. You understand? I support the 1979 prosecutions and executions. I supported it. I will still support it any day. But the fact that we have shot people who did nothing, they did nothing. History, when I went deep to find out the bad things that Champon did, that women would take the commanding heights of the economy. Yes, you open ma. That women would take charge of the economy. So women became contractors, suppliers. Unlike that time, previously, it was men who were in charge. I'm telling you, Bibi, take it from me. If it was men who were given the contracts to build Dansuman, we wouldn't have finished. I swear my father Cantona, they were women contractors. Go and find out. Go to Kwadaso Estates. I'm saying the contracts were given to men. Kwadaso wouldn't have been built.
They were built by women.
Oh, they were built by women contractors. Yes, check. All around the Champon. All around women. Why? They say open bar. Go and ask the wife Faustina whether did Faustina come to complain in National Life that the husband was a womanizer. He had a first wife, and then after he became an officer, the woman decided to leave. Then he got in Faustina to come in to be his wife. Which other woman can you people point to? You accuse the man wrongly, sent him to the stakes and shot him. He and Utuka, you accuse them of 77,000 pounds that they are stolen logs. Omanpeni, the Ghana, Yasizi, Rosewood, the good border. So, near Cotoni, the scanner by presidency. You're accusing the president that he stole the money. And go and shoot him. There's no evidence. There's no evidence. The likes of Nanado, Danko Kufuado, those who followed the People's Movement for Freedom and Justice, Orakwesi Pratt and Co. I want to question them today that in our democracy, aren't people stealing more than the 1979 people? And what are they doing about it? What is democracy doing to punish those thieves who steal the money and flaunt it in front of us? Why am I saying that? I knew Fifi Boafo. I'm not jealous of anybody. I'm not using anybody. Let me use one example for you.
But relax.
Maybe he's your friend, that's why. What did he have before he got to that? Relax. If you want me to this thing, give me water. Because if you don't give me water, I'm on fire. Let me go.
Alistair, listen to me.
Okay, I'm listening.